Hey guys, welcome back to the Covered Collar. My name's Max. Sorry I'm late. I've been I've been working on stuff, working on spreadsheets. None of my spreadsheets are working. Story of my life. Working with trying to get AI to fix my spreadsheets, but I've been more jacking with the AI part of it than the spreadsheet part of it. The spreadsheets aren't that bad, but the AI's giving me problems or can't fix a problem. I've been going back and forth with these guys since 7:30 with Gemini. But anyway, Gemini is owned by Google, so go figure. All right. Well, excuse me. I don't like to see VIX up and Vivix up. Vivix was up yesterday, and Vivix is you can put a trend line under Vivix lately. Vivix, I mean, the past, and I haven't said anything about it till now, and I didn't notice it till yesterday. So I'm sure you guys have noticed it though, but that's generally not a bullish sign. It doesn't always resolve bad, but generally you want a low Vivix because that's the volatility of the volatility. Sometimes it's like a precursor to the actual volatility itself. The actual volatility itself has been kind of and we have been talking about this uptrend for a while. And that's been going on since early September. We've been kind of getting stuff under the surface, undercurrents. All right, but let's look at SPY. Gold's sure doing well, 42.78. Silver's at $53. All right, so let's get on a closer in chart on the SPY. SPY looks like it's up about 1/3 of a point, which is good. Let me try to, we're probably in this multiple gap situation still. All right, so that looks a little better. Well, looks like we had a small gap from last night that still, that the second time period from 9 to 9:30 filled it. Anyway, the gap's been filled, but they're still on the bullish side of it. All right, well, come on, bulls. Come on, bulls. Let's see what the Qs are doing relative to their. See, they still have their morning gap open. Without all the gaps, it's easier to see without all the notations. So the Qs are more bullish than the SPYs just in this little short thing today. So that's good. Come on, let's rally here, guys. Let's look up Bitcoin on Coinbase. Kind of going the other way, right? So that's not really good. All right, so let's go to the crypto quartet. This is what I've been jacking with all morning. So I have no idea if it's working or not. I mean, it's kind of partially working. It's kind of limping along. Maybe not at all now because I was jacking with it. Some of it, I think the AI got Alti working, but I'm not sure about LFGY. I think this may be the prior day's positions, but anyway, we could still see what's moving in the portfolio because the red is how much the individual stock is up, and the blue is the allocation. So we have a lot of HUT and a lot of IBIT. HUT's down a little bit, about a point. IBIT's pretty flat. Clean Spark's hurting us today, down 5%, and it's about 5% of the portfolio. So that's costing 1/4 point overall, and the fund itself is down about 13 basis points. That stuff's all right. I'm having a problem getting the positions to update in a timely manner, but in any event, I'll keep working on it. All right, so let's look at. So I thought Alti was the one they got fixed, and obviously Alti is not the one they got fixed because we have more stocks than just those. So, all right. Well, I'll have to keep working on that. Alti's down 9 basis points today. That's really nothing. LFGY is down 19 basis points. Blocks is down a little bit more than half a point, about 65, 65 basis points, 0.6%. What about old WPay? WPay is actually up a point. Good job, WPay. And what about QLDY? Also, Defiance did not update their QLDY trades again last night, so I now have 2 days without trades. I got a new position, they report, and their positions have increased. They did used to have 355 long positions, or 3.5, depending on which unit you used to measure them. And they went up to, we'll look in a second, I believe it's either 4 or 5. So they're adding assets, but as far as their positions go, they haven't been loading them for me. So not only is the crypto quartet evidently not working, the lightning spread's not working either. Yeah, the crypto quartet's all jacked up. Even blocks is jacked up. I thought it fixed blocks. Now there's the blocks. Now blocks, okay, yeah, blocks is working. It's Alti that's jacked up. Alti and LFGY are the ones, and it's probably because of the new Yield Max website. But I've literally been going back and forth since 7:30 this morning, like 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's why I'm late coming on the show. I just can't get it figured out. Anyway, okay, we just saw the blocks was down. We saw 65 basis points a little bit ago. Now it's saying 95 basis points. Anyway, it's because of Mara. We have to blame Mara, Cypher, Riot, Iron. All of the block stuff is down, with the exception of CoreWeave, which is having a nice day. But most of the block stuff is pulling back a little bit. All right, but 1%, that's nothing for blocks. I mean, that's, who cares, right? That's a rounding error for these guys. And Salty, let's look and see if Salty's probably still jacked up too, I would imagine, because it's part of the Yield Max debacle. Now look, Salty's up 47, up half a point. We'll call it 0.5%. And it's thanks to Astera, A-Lab, I think that's Astera, Adobe, APLD, whatever that's called, Bloom Energy or no, it's not because of those guys. Those guys are hurting them. What am I talking about? It's because they're up. I don't even really see how they're up, because they have a few shorts that are working out, Lemonade and Mara a little bit, but they don't deserve to be up. I wouldn't say, but it's probably jacked up. I'm sure they aren't really up. Yeah, they aren't, of course. So that's jacked up. Let's go look at the index buffer report and see if it's still jacked up. Most likely it is. I never did figure out why it was saying that BITK was down 5% yesterday, and it was missing a few of the other ones too. I checked this morning, and most of them were right. So I don't know what Google's program is. They just suck. We did just check blocks, and it is really down that much. So that one's right. And it would make sense that SEPI's down a little bit less than block. So it looks like it's working a little bit. Well, I like to see GPTY up. I wonder why GPTY is up. Let's go over the Yield Max buffer report and see what's moving up in GPTY land. It's got to be GDXY, SMCY, and Palti, and NVIDIA, Murni, GUI, bringing up bringing up GPTY, because they have that big tech. So they would, of those, they have Amazon. They don't have Murni, I'm talking about, but they have Amazon, Google, NVIDIA, which are all up. And I don't think they have any of those. Maybe SMC, I don't know. Anyway, great job, GPTY. Only thing on the board that's up, actually, but I don't even believe it's up. There's no way it's really up. I bet if we check, that's jacked up too. What do you want to bet? I hope not. Well, I checked my portfolio this morning and it was up. So I think that's right. It wasn't fake news. Yeah, I checked. I guess we should just look at Tasty Trade. So I organized it by up the most, down the most. So in the model portfolio, GDXY is up 1.7, GPTY is up 0.8, WPay is up 0.8, NVDY is up 0.7, QLDY is up 0.6, Feet's up. I don't really have much of that. YMAX, don't have much of that. Alti's the only one, the only big position I have this down. Well, Alti and blocks, pulling back a little bit. All right, so let's go back here to on to the crypto quartet. Feed and 5E up the most as usual. FIRS getting ready to delist in a few days, but need to probably take it off here. WDTE having a good day, as is T-SPY. FEPI is also having a good day, as is GPTY we already talked about, but QDTE is also outperforming the NASDAQ, which is great. Remember, we looked at the NASDAQ and I said they had a little gap this morning and it's still open, and that NASDAQ's giving a gap and go look, which would explain why GPTY is doing better and stuff. But anyway, and WPay is having a good day too. It's basically NASDAQ or big tech. All right, so that's that. And then YieldMax we already kind of looked at briefly. It looks like YBIT's having a problem today. Little problem with the NAV today. All right, what are you guys doing? Hey, Mark, what's up? I'm glad YETH is still doing well. I don't know if the max factor is working right now. I don't think it's working either. Google Finance needs some work. Maybe they should integrate tonight. Well, they want you to buy stuff. They do have a couple of things that I should probably subscribe to, but I'm getting ready to do StreamYard Premium so we can multicast to Twitter. So, and I think that's more of a priority. But yeah, I was thinking about investing in some technology, and they have something called Wise Sheets. Google has something called Wise Sheets, and another service. So what I did, I eliminated Google to the extent I could. I got Polygon data and got Rob to help me. So I've tried to diversify from Google as much as I can. It's just the date. I'm just relying on Google just for price information. But yeah, maybe I need to diversify on that as well. But I think the StreamYard being able to multitask will really help the station. And not to mention, since I have a good camera now, I can stream in 4K. So this camera, I think you can do 720 and 1080 without paying, but I'll do 4K, and there's some other advantages too. And you can live stream to multiple areas. So anyway, I think that'll be good. So that's my plan. Anyway, I'm glad YETH is doing well. I wish, I don't have too much stuff to show you guys. Because I can't get anything to work. I haven't done my BITK video yet. I have tons of videos to do, and Marcus gave me new prospectuses today, but I'm so far behind. They were Tuttle paid 30 cents. Okay, well, that's good to know. So that's their third payment, right? They paid $1.50, they paid 50, and they paid 30. So that's going the direction we kind of predicted. Remember, I said it would settle down. But still, it should pay a 50% premium, at least on the ones that are doing weekly options, I would imagine. And it should have a lot of upside because of the uncapped at nighttime deal. Although that's going to hurt them when the market turns against them, but whatever. But in a bull market, that'll be the greatest thing ever. Until crypto winter gets here, this thing ought to be hot, right? Anyway, thanks for putting that in there. But yeah, I have a lot of prospectuses to look at. I'm just behind. Marcus put a couple in there today. Global X, Target Income. I kind of looked at them real quick. They didn't look really interesting. I mean, they just played nothing really, no bells or whistles, just Target covered call fund. So not a lot to see there yet. But anyway, that should be. I mean, Global X does a. Wonder how they would even do a target fund, because that's the funds they have are basically 12% target funds. Actually they aren't. They pay out about half of what they make, but they pay 12% if they can, unless they make. I cracked their algorithm because they used to post their results all the way back to 2012. They pay 12% when they make at least like 20%. But when they get much under that, they'll start paying about half of what they make, and they aren't afraid to pay 9, 8. They were paying 7% for a while in 2015, I think 7.5. I did a whole video on it. Anyway, so I guess their funds now that's just a conventional covered call fund. They pay out what they think they're able to, but so now maybe they're going to actually come out with the target where they set the price or whatever. Anyway, okay, well, I'll definitely review that, but I need to do BITK first, and then this one looked really interesting from Curve. Not really so much in an option way, but just philosophically, this LCTO, because it's in a back testing way, because I've back tested strategies before, and I was like, wonder if a guy just didn't even want to sell any premium, but just used synthetics just to get long the market in the cheapest way possible. How much better could you do than the market? And the answer is, according to the Tasty Trade backtester, a lot better than the market. In a bull market, in a bear market, you'll do worse. But because of leverage. But you can do much better. So I think that they're trying to do something like that, where they use the synthetic or deep in the money, and then so you only have to put like 20% of the money down. It depends on the margin requirements and what you're doing, and if you sell an option too, if you do a spread. But typically you have like 80 or 90% of your cash free, and you can put that in T-bills, and then so that gives you an extra 3% kicker, 4%, whatever. But that's supposedly coming down soon, so I don't know. That plan probably would have been a better plan back when interest rates were going up. But anyway, it is interesting. I do think that a professional trader could put synthetics on, and they're also going to consider taxes and try to give you return of capital and stuff, I bet. So I bet that's going to be interesting. I bet that's going to be real interesting. And I need to review that, but I promise BITK's first on the list. I just didn't have a chance to get to it yesterday. But yeah, LCTO sounds great on paper. I'm with you. Like I say, and I've said, even after I saw that yesterday, it caused me to get in the back tester, and I lost probably 30 minutes jacking around to the back tester trying to figure out what they were doing. Anyway, glad to see Global X jumping back in. About time. Yeah, heck yeah. I appreciate it. All right, well, I need to go get on top of this AI stuff. So maybe the afternoon report will be better, but I have to get the crypto. We got to get the crypto court working. The max factor. The max factor is working. If you guys want to take a look at that really fast, let's just look at that, because that's the one thing that is working. I just want to copy it real quick, and then we'll just take a quick look-see at it. All right, so we'll sort the short term. We aren't going to use the graphics. We're just going to look. For some reason, spin's not working. I'll need to look at that, but everything other than spin is working. Somehow the price 90 days ago, the price 90 days ago isn't working. That's the least of my problems. We can figure all that out. But GDXY is number one. And why not, with the yield of 42%? 90 days ago, it was trading at 14.5. Now it's 8 cents away from 18. How's that for upside? 23% NAV only upside this quarter. It's about a 31 vol, which is really volatile for gold. Lots of the other gold ones we follow are 10, but these are gold stocks, gold equities. So it's a little bit of it's related, but it's different. Anyway, 1 year total return 40%. Anyway, then after that, iGold, and that's the prime thing. iGold is a 10 vol. So you'd expect it to be about a third as volatile as GDXY. I've got to get out of, I've done great in GDXY, but I've got to get it in some less, because iGold and KGold are doing almost as well. Well, they aren't paying as high of a yield though, but KGold's doing as well on upside and doing it with a lot less risk. It's only a 12 vol. I've got to get out of GDXY at least halfway out and get into KGold. But anyway, maybe I'll do that before the end of the week. Anyway, then we have Silvo, Gold I. TLTW kind of surprises me. It's up here because it was only at 22, and a half 90 days ago, and it's only at 23.66. That's only 5. But I guess it's paying a good yield. It's paying 15% over the past year. That's not bad. And I guess it's just because it has micro volatility that it's getting kind of some extra. Or maybe this is messed up too, because that kind of, I don't know if that really makes sense. Anyways, whatever. I know you guys really like Egg Q. Let's look at Egg Q and see how it looks. Or no, you guys like eggs, right? Or there's Eggy. Well, Eggy pays a higher yield. Let's look at Eggy. So Eggy went from 39.84 to 40. It's up about $1. Okay, well, that's fine because it's paying a 22% yield. So that has steady NAV, low volatility. T-Spy, I know a lot of people like. Will, KQQQ. There's Big E having a good little run. I do wonder why like Palti isn't at the top of the list. So I'm thinking maybe this is jacked up too, but oh well, it's whatever. Maybe let's do the long term. Yeah, spin's jacked up. So KGold's at the top of the long-term list with a oh no, it's not. I'm sorry. The long-term list starts right here. Palti's at the top of the long-term list, of course. But look at this price. In the past 90 days, it's down 67 to 61. Still a good fund. It was up from 51 in the past year. TSLP, TSLY. Now this is more like it, but then there's that GDXY. Snowy's having a good run too. Goop, iGold, GUI, AMDY's having a heck of a run. 11% NAV this quarter, paying about a 70% annual. Heck yeah. Anyway, at least that stuff's working. We got to look at the long-term max factor. How about that? Yeah, BITK is the new beast. So, I mean, are you worried about the dividends going down? I mean, $1.50. I'd let $1.50, 50, then 30. I mean, the first dividend was 5 times the most recent dividend. I think most investors, me, and even me, or I would want a steady dividend, But anyway, but I think it's going to get steady. I think maybe they just paid a lot to, to really say, hey, we're here, take a look at us, but let's see what it steadies out at. Yeah, if they could pay $1.50 every week, remember that was going to be 360%. But that would literally be a Ponzi scheme. People talk about, or not really literally, but people talk about these funds are giving you your own money back. If you paid a yield like that, that's what it would essentially turn into. But I think it could maybe support 100% yield. No, and they're talent people. They sub-advise T-Spy and TDAC. They also sub-advise some Rex funds, the Rex T-Rex series. They sub-advise the T-Rex, and the T stands for Tuttle. And they filed for a bunch of other ones that look really cool. No, they manage a lot of money and stuff, and it's legit. I just think it'll probably settle down at. I mean, what are you expecting it to pay? I mean, no way it's going to pay more than 100. I'm just looking at what the volatility on IBIT, but they're going to be catching a lot of upside being uncapped at night, and it all goes into the same. I mean, it ought to be interesting. Maybe they can. Maybe they'll surprise me. I'm not a crypto guy. You guys are the crypto guys. I want you guys to tell me what you think. You guys tell me if what's going to happen to it. Anyway, no crypto was way up at $1.50. Okay, so it was just because you were getting because it was 2 weeks ago when they paid you. Let's look at the chart. let's do like this. Let's just look at the IBID chart because that's what they're selling, IBID options. So I don't know when they came public, but maybe if they opened on this day and they caught that first run uncapped at night, and then they paid you a huge dividend, yeah. I mean, they're because you're getting more, but I'm saying it's more due to the uncapped at night than because you can look at IBID on Tasty and that, well, for one thing, they don't have 0 DTE, but I mean, so they're doing those flex options, which is fine. It's a 53 vol. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So, but, okay, so it's a 53 vol, but they're selling options every day. The frequency matters also. Look at what is SPX. SPX is 20 vol. Look at these. See over here, the right-hand column. Anyway, you guys saw that. It's a 20 vol, but the funds that sell every day can generate 30 or 40, even 60. Defiance was generated because of the frequency off at 20 vol. Okay, it's the frequency of occurrences also that has to do with it. So so maybe they can get 100, maybe 150. I mean, because the everyday selling of options, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that sells option every day on a 50 vol, and there is, but it's Granite shares, and they sell leverage options every day on a 50 vol. But we could still look what those options. Those options have a volatility also. So Granite shares sells SPXL, which are 60 vol. It looks like. But you compare that to selling options on the SPX, which we just saw as a 20 vol, and that would make sense because these are triple leverage, right? And Granite Shares is doing this every day. And what kind of yield are they turning YSPY into? 100% or something? A lot. Let's go look here. So, I mean, so you can look at the IBITS IV, I think, and it's going to pay multiples. The other reason I haven't done the videos because I'm working it out with you guys. You guys have heard everything I know about it. I talked for about 10 minutes on this subject yesterday, and I'm telling you the rest of my thoughts on this subject today. Essentially, this is the video. When the video comes out, it's going to say all this same stuff. So let's look at YSPY versus whatever. I just want to see what kind of dividend YSPY's paying. I guess we could look at the max factor, but let's just figure it out. Half a year it paid $5, so that'd be 10. It's paying about 50%. So YSPY happens to be paying about the same yield. I mean, as the options are selling. But I do know that like Triple QI, QDTE, they sell those 20 vol options and turn it into 30 and 40 all day long. So I think that's probably the game plan. Is to try to turn it into more than 50. Like I say, I'm saying 100 is the upper bound. But I mean, I guess it depends on how much. It also depends on how much crypto goes up because they're obviously paying you out of that too, which is awesome. That's kind of fun. I like. It's kind of like I wonder also like T-SPY if they're actually selling a few shares here and there when the price is higher. I don't think I read that in the prospectus that they were able to do that. I didn't really read that in T-SPY's prospectus either, but Sai just told it to us on the show. He mentioned it when he came on the show. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, we'll keep working on it, but you guys know everything I know. That's because there's not a lot to know, and we've worked it out together on the show between yesterday and today. That's my thinking. I just think that's what they're trying to do. So anyway, let's keep an eye on it. Let's wait for those dividends to get steady, and let's kind of let's see what happens next time crypto makes a bull run and see if they're able to pay another $1.50 again or something. That would be awesome. I mean, I'd be fine with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I'm all about it. I wonder if I need to get some of this for the model portfolio. But I'm thinking that for an older guy like me that doesn't like a lot of risk, I'm thinking that with blocks and WPay and Alti, I probably have enough exposure to these types of assets. I'm guessing. I mean, If anything, I need to sell everything I have and put it in gold, I guess. Gold and silvers. I mean, they're talking. I saw something today. People are talking about 5,000 for gold. So anyway, if anything, I'm wondering if I maybe need to add some, or maybe not gold, but add some silver somewhere, add some precious metal exposure. But anyway, we'll figure it out. All right, I'll be back tonight. I'll be back this evening, and I'm going to get back in the middle of the spreadsheets and try to get that stuff. I'll try to get the Crypto Quartet figured out, because that was really one of my favorite features, looking at all the individual stocks and seeing what was moving and stuff. So anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.